Right, okay.
My part, sorry.
Have you shaved your beard but like really grown your moustache?
Yeah, I have, yeah.
Looks
I'm
good.
so glad.
like it.
I'm so glad you noticed. Thank you.
I noticed straight away, but it's not very... But it's like...
It's not very prominent. It's not very prominent.
You look like... I look like I'm talking to like an 80s version of you. I like it.
I'm down with that. I feel
good.
like my shoulders should just be slightly bulkier and I'll look fucking sweet. Anyway.
Right, let's do the clap. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's better.
Lovely
That's
stuff.
better. Right.
Keep that all in, by the way.
That's good. Yeah. Episode 186 of the All Seen Guys podcast with Greg and Joe. Well, of course, I'm Greg. Joined as always over the Skype ways is
Obviously Joe Jackson.
Joe Jackson.
Should have said mustachioed Joe Jackson.
Yes, mustachioed Joe Jackson with his freshly trimmed. Well, you haven't trimmed your stash. You just trimmed your beard away to reveal the stash.
Took it away. Yep.
To reveal it. He took it away now. What inspired such a move?
I was trimming my beard. I did it. So when I last trimmed my beard, it wasn't very long, but I always do the moustache bit last. And I was just like, oh, actually, you know what? I kind of like that. So I let it grow out for like a couple of weeks, and then trimmed again today, and it's just very, very full. And I was like, yep,
that's good.
Tom Selleck.
It looks very Tom Selleck.
I was going. This is what I'm going for. It's a bit of Tom Selleck.
I don't think I have enough space between my nose and my lip to do a Selleck.
I'm quite concerned that it's not thick. Like it's not got a lot of thickness to it until like I smile. So it's just like. So I've got now I have to, if I really want the moustache to look good, now I've got to just smile all the time, which is difficult, Greg. In all honesty,
yeah,
it's a hard,
I hear you.
Hard thing to achieve that.
I hear you. Not much to smile about nowadays, unless you listen to our podcast.
Well, yeah, I guess that's
oh,
something.
First of all, actually, before we go, and shout out Stu for sending us those awesome Henry Hoover keyrings. I've not seen Joe to give his yet. It's downstairs on the kitchen table. Indiana's already asked if she can have mine, and I'm like, I mean, you don't know why he sent me that.
Yeah.
If I thought you can run around with Indiana.
Yeah,
it's better you don't know the reasoning behind it.
Don't ask about it in the future.
But wonderful, Stu. Really appreciate that. Very nice, very kind of you.
Great find.
And when I see Joe, I'll give him to his.
Like in regards to like things that we've been sent, which is 2 things.
Yes.
it's really up there. It's
Now, when you get yours, you should like flash it if you're doing the hoovering. Did you say you have a Henry Hoover at work?
We sell them at work.
But well, maybe
like,
if someone asks about Hoovers, you could be like, actually, you flash that. I'm designated to talk Hoover with you. Here's my badge.
I'm all about Henry
badge 465.
Yeah. I'll be. I'll get a new name badge and call myself Henry.
Henry advised.
Like,
Henry enthusiast.
Someone's gonna call up and just be like, yeah, I spoke to Henry the other day and he called me an arsehole on the phone. And I was just like, Henry.
Henry does his own things, bruv.
You're on crack, mate.
Yes, I am on crack. Anyway, can I speak to Henry?
This is Henry. Fuck you.
How's it been going, Joseph?
Yeah, it's very good, thanks. I had last week off from work, which was nice.
Yeah.
Didn't do an awful lot, but then that was the plan. So, but I did assist our good Swiss Army knife friend Ed Wooderson with moving into his new home.
Yes, awesome.
Which was an eventful day. A lot of shifting, and then like the good egg he is, he took me out for a beer and a burger afterwards.
Yeah, nice.
It was lovely.
Nice.
It was good.
Did you go? And he did the same with me and you when I met him.
There you go.
When I came to help move on the Saturday, and then we went to his, and he cooked us a beer and a burger.
It was a fucking treat. What a great day that was.
He cooked us a beer and a burger in his garden, which is awesome.
Didn't
I like
cook
that.
the beer, just to reiterate.
Yeah, no, that would be very silly. But no, we chilled out in his garden for a bit. For 8 hours, actually, for hours.
We
for like a good 5 hours we were lying there. I didn't realise.
that decreased quickly. You're like, a good 8 hours, good 5 hours.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, what time did we get? I think we got up to his about 2 or about 3 or so. So we were at the pub before, weren't we?
I turned up about 1 o'clock. Feeling like I could turn up late because I'd already helped out during the week. And then when I turned up, you guys were already shifting. You'd already gone to the house already. I think. And Sarah let me in. And but yeah, like we did,
nice
we loaded up what was remaining. I think into the car in one trip, and then that was pretty much it. I think.
Went and sat in Ed's garden for this. But we all sat there about 3 o'clock or so, and I remember just kind of looking at my phone and being like, holy shit, it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it went pretty damn quick.
And it still looked as sunny and clear as it did at 3 o'clock that day. Like, it was insane.
You know what it was?
The shadow has slightly moved over a bit more.
Because our usual routine of like hanging out at Ed's is like we'll sort of like sit in the front row, watch a bit of telly, and then we'll like go and have a bit of a smoke or whatever, and then go back to the telly. But we didn't have telly this time, so there was we had. And I
don't know how much we will, because we can't all fit in there. So maybe it will be a case of us just hanging out in the garden.
I'm alright with that. If the weather's going to be like this for a couple of weeks more, we'll and if Ed wants us in his garden, then sweet, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I wonder how. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, not nice. One of us has bought their own house now, and it's good, and we can go there and sit in his garden and reap the benefits
on the property ladder.
Really enjoyed. Yeah, good day.
Yeah.
I was off last week.
You were
as well. Yep. I was on a little holiday.
Little excavation.
Little holiday down to.
Isn't that when they dig up dinosaur bones? That's not right. Is
yes,
it?
I wasn't doing that. I went down to Poole, down Poole Way, and it was very nice. Considering it was very much a holiday for Indiana, it was still very good. I still had a really good time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a Butlins or a Pontins. It was a lot nicer than that.
Yeah.
Much smaller. But everything looked brand new. Really, I thought it was called Dean Park Resorts or Park Dean Resorts in Sanford. And everything looked brand new, even though it's not. It all looked brand new, really clean. Like, as soon as I wasn't dreading it, but I was like, this is Indiana's holiday. This is for her to have a good time, blah, blah, blah. And when we kind of got there, and I drove in, I was like, oh, actually looks pretty nice. And then we kind of got to our static home, what was, it's a big caravan, I guess. And I was like, oh, this is actually really nice.
Yeah.
And then get into the bar and be like, oh, this is really nice. And I was like, actually, it's going to be all right.
I like this. You're like, all the way there, you're just like, going to be a shithole. It's going to be a shithole.
Yeah.
Like,
and then once I realised there was like 2 massive playgrounds either side of like the bar and the outside area, I was like, oh, brilliant. So you can just sit there and have your beer, and Indiana just goes back and forth playing.
Yeah.
It was pretty nice. And that was pretty much the majority of the holiday.
Love it.
Like, just chilling out. I did in the morning of electrocute my arm, which wasn't good. I was like reaching under my desk in my room to like turn off the plug at the wall.
Yeah.
And I've got it plugged into like an adapter because I've got like the printer, the computer, the scanner, and all sorts. And I didn't realise like the covering had like come off the extension lead.
Oh right. Oh shit.
So all the wiring was just exposed.
Oh fuck.
I didn't realise it had come off. I couldn't see because I've got my arm under it. I can't see. And I'm like, where's the switch to turn it off? And then I just felt like, oh my god, it was hard to like. I knew it wasn't like I was shocked across the room. I guess some sort of safety feature had kicked in.
You don't have superpowers now.
No, but I could feel all of a sudden it just shooting up my arm, and I was like,
yeah, and it's
like my arm started like flexing, like twitching. I was like, and it was like, oh my god, it felt so horrible. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, fuck, I've got to drive my family now, like,
yeah, man,
hours somewhere. My arm was all fucked. It was really weird the whole way, but it was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Nah.
I think I was overthinking it, but it was a ridiculous thing to do to myself just before leaving.
So what you're telling me is that you put your finger in a hole that you shouldn't have.
Well, a hole that I didn't know was there.
In the process of turning off. Because that's the number one way to turn someone off is by putting your finger into the incorrect hole. The nose. They don't like women don't like having their nose picked.
It's true.
I don't
blame them. All there is.
I have learned that the hard way.
All there is.
Yeah.
But it was but a very nice holiday with very busy days, late nights for Indiana anyway.
So can I just say as well that like that being the start of your holiday is like the most slapstick fucking thing I've ever heard.
It was very slapstick. It was very slapstick. It really was. Luckily, nothing really like that happened on the rest of the holiday. It was all quite clear.
No
I did have,
electrocutions.
no electrocutions. No, the place itself was amazing.
Good.
The staff were amazing. I was really impressed with everyone.
You said the food was really good as well.
Food was really. I was really surprised at how good the food was and how cheap it was. Or how cheap everything was there. It was very reasonable.
Nice.
But yeah, I was really surprised at how good the food was. Honestly, there's no aspect I could really complain about for the whole thing. It was very well organised. The staff were really nice. Like it just felt like a good place to be. Apart from obviously we did have a slight situation, which I was messaging you about.
You did, yeah. I wasn't sure if you were going to bring this up or not. But
yeah, well I will, but I'll be cautious.
Briefly.
The second day I think it was in the evening, it looked like a bunch of travellers had arrived.
Yeah.
And I came into the bar, and they were all sat in the bar, and all the guys were one side, the women with all the kids were the other, and the guys were just like smashed.
Yeah,
like, they were so drunk, they were so loud, they were taking over the bar, and I was like, "Fuck." Oh well, when I go up to the bar to get a drink, and I'm like, "Fuck it, it's not going to affect me." Go up to the bar to have a drink. And then I can hear they've sent these two kids up to get drinks. Not like alcohol drinks, like get them their 7-Ups. Give them 20 quid, go get your Pepsi, whatever. And they came up and stood behind me. And then I heard them be like, "Don't fucking queue, get in front of him." And they just pushed in front of me. And I was like, And I kind of like...
That's a fucker, innit?
And I kind of looked back at the guy. And he stood up and looked me in the eye from across the bar. And across the pub shouted, "What are you going to fucking do about it?" And I was like, I guess nothing. Like... I don't really want to get beaten up on my holiday by you guys.
That box
I don't really get into a massive argument.
That box will remain unticked.
And I turned and looked at the guy who was serving me, and he kind of like shrugged his shoulders and took the kids' orders. And I was like, okay, right, fine, got my beer. And he was like, "Sorry," as he served me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like, annoyingly, it's out of, like,
I've been in that
stupid
situation.
as it sounds, it's out of his hands.
It is. No, it is. I've been in that situation when I've worked in shops in Kingston. I've had to deal with travellers, and it's like you kind of just have to back down at some point. But yeah, so I was like, all right, well, that's annoying, but that is what it is. And I was a bit pissed off, and I came out and I told Lizzie, who then went into like, "Oh, if something's going to fucking happen." I'm like, "No, it's not." She's like, "Shit always happens to you. Like, it follows you round." Like, and I was like, "Lizzie, I've done nothing wrong." She's like, "I know you've done nothing wrong, but that doesn't matter because it just follows you. Something's going to happen." I was like, "It's not. I'm going to keep away from them. Don't worry. I'm not going to let them ruin the holiday."
What are you, Greg Armstrong traveller whisperer?
That's what it sounds like. Anyway, we went out back and we were watching the kids show and stuff. It's really funny. We're watching the kids show, and I was like, "I'm going to go get a drink," and I'm queuing up, and I was quite a big queue at this bar. I haven't seen big queues. Get to this woman, and I'm like, "Oh, can I get a pint of?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm only doing the bingo tickets." And I'm like, "Oh, great, well, that was good to know, thank you."
Yeah.
Stepped to the side, and this woman behind me was like, "I can't believe it, I queued up. Oh, who's taking drink orders? Now there's a big queue." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go around the front bar," which this woman thought was amazing. "Oh, we go around the front." I was like, "Yeah, I'm
How
going to go
dare he? Oh my God, look at the balls on this one.
Yeah.
Sharon,
go.
Sharon.
Go. You don't believe what you just did. Go around the front bar, and it's pretty busy. The guys are still there. They've probably now been there. Well, I first saw them about 3 o'clock, and they were smashed then. We're now probably talking about 7 o'clock in the evening, and they're still there, still going. I come back. We've been and gone, come back a few times.
Say what you want about travellers, but the fucking stamina on them,
mate, proper. And then I get to the bar, and it's a bit of a queue. And I get there, I order my drink, get my drink, paid for my drink, and I'm about to leave, and then these hands like start tickling me on my rib cage, like really up and down my ribs. And I was like, "What the fuck is?" And it's this guy, the guy that was like, "Fucking, what are you gonna do about it?" He's got his arm around me, and he's like tickling me, and I'm like, "Oh," and mate, he's so fucked. I cannot understand a single word he's saying to me, and he's just showing. It didn't seem like he was threatening me, but he was showing me his fist. He was like showing it to me. Right. He was just going, "Ah," you know, when someone's not even really talking, they're just slurring, and he's wobbling backwards and forwards. I was like, and I'm like, "Oh, have a good night." And he's like, and once I have a good night, he's like, "No," and he's like grabbing my arm. I think he was trying to use me to cut the queue for the bar. I didn't put that together till afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he even knew I was the same guy from earlier.
I was going to say,
I changed my outfit since then. We've been out, come back. I don't even know if he even knew I was the same guy.
Mate, it's insanely coincidental if it is the scenario.
So I walk away from him, and he was a bit like at me as I walked. I think he thought I'd buy him a drink, or I would somehow he would cut the queue and get a drink with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked off, told Lizzie. Lizzie got even more freaked out, and I'm like, it's fine, stop going on. Later on, as we were leaving, I saw there was a dad kind of stood by the arcade holding some big cuddly toys. Kid had one. This same, when me and Indiana go to the toilet, it's just me, Indiana, and this traveller in there.
Oh, fucking hell.
Luckily, I'm taking Indiana into a cubicle, and he's just trying to piss.
And I'd already changed into my third outfit for the evening.
I was hosting the Oscars that night.
Fucking Whoopi Goldberg over it.
And I came back. It was hot, man. I was sweating through him. And I came out, and we both all left the toilet together. And he walked past this dad who was holding this toy for his kid, and he just snatched it and walked off of it.
Oh,
and the guy was like, but then he turned around and was like, and gave it back to him.
Oh, I don't like it.
The dad did a really nervous laugh.
I don't like it.
They all got moved out the bar, and they would just sit outside the front. So the bar shut about 11:30. I could still hear and see them from my static caravan, like out sat in the dark, all shouting and screaming. Don't know what happened that night. I fell asleep. But then the next morning, me and Lizzie were like down by where you booked to do activities, and we saw this guy, the one that was being a dick, shoot past on the like a little electric scooter.
Yeah.
In the same clothes as the night before. Like, he had no outfit change.
Has not been asleep.
And I heard another traveller on the phone next to me. And he was on the phone. I heard him being like, he was fucking really intoxicated. And this traveller had 2 kids with him. And to be fair, I saw this guy doing loads of activities, just him and his 2 kids.
Oh, and that's nice.
He was drinking a bit of them yesterday, but he was with them today. And he was just, and he's on the phone, and he's just like, oh, he got too much last night. He caused all this trouble. He's got us banned from the bar. And all this and all that. He's like, he's ruining it. Everyone's pissed off with him. And I'm like, all right. And I didn't see him anymore. They didn't go. They were banned from like the whole section, middle section. Like, and I was like, okay. Then later on, a police car shows up. Another police car shows up. Another police car shows up. Then like 3 meat wagons show up. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Because the first half of the park is where I am, where it's all nice and family and all the static homes. And at the back, it's still very nice. But when you walk right through this massive park, you get to the back, there's like double the size of the park at the back, and that's where you bring your own caravans or your own camping, and it's more of a camping setup, and there's big built huts all around that've got toilets and showers in them, you know, if you've come for your tech camping and stuff. So that section where all that, and that's where all the police were all going in there.
Damn.
Anyway, a little later on, we saw 6 caravans get escorted out by the police a couple of hours later, and then. So basically, I heard someone talking to the staff, and they were basically saying, I don't think they were meant to be there. I think they like illegally got onto the park. They hadn't paid or booked to be there.
They
were just
fucking
on
chanced
there.
It.
They were just on there and just taking over the whole park. And something had happened the night before. I don't know what happened, but something happened. I then heard them saying that the kids had been going around on scooters robbing people. The guys had smashed up all the toilets down there and stuff, and they were robbing from other people staying down there, and it just sounded like it could have turned. To their credit, the fact they got them out there the next day. I mean, all know how hard it is to move travellers on, getting down there and getting them off. They did clear them off, and it was all fine after that. So I thought they handled it really well and got them out pretty quick. But it's still just like, holy shit! If we'd been staying down there, my parents would have done that with their camper van.
You would have been in the same section.
Right, it's crazy.
That's fucking.
That's having to deal with that.
You wouldn't have stayed, man. You wouldn't have stayed. Not with.
Well, it depends. When it seems like they got them out pretty quickly, but it definitely would have been a problem. And I guess people did go and complain about it.
Jeez, man.
Before I move on, I did want to spring up this other. Not really running, just something I observed that made me feel a bit sick, and I don't usually react in this way, but I did. And this isn't fat shaming. I'm not fat shaming anyone.
Oh God!
I'm not fat shaming anyone. This isn't fat shaming. It's not about that. It's about
quantity.
Acknowledging where you are. I suppose they're on holiday, but still, a bit of decorum.
A bit of decorum. Fucking hell!
A splash of decorum, please.
I'll let you take this one, Greg.
Joe Garpage said that. I generally thought he was leaving. Yeah. So, I think it was the second to last night. I think it might have been the night before or last night there. And we were sat in again, kids' entertainment in the evening. Indiana's up there dancing away. It's quite dark. They got the lights going, and we were sat. Me and Lizzie were sat a few seats back, and there was a table empty in front of us. Anyway, this dad comes along with his like couple of daughters who were very overweight. One of them particularly was very, very, very big.
Yeah. I see.
And they
No,
sat
I
down.
just want to say quickly that Greg wouldn't bring this sort of thing up if it wasn't in like ridiculous. Like,
Yeah, it is ridiculous. She was very big. She sat down, and I've realised that one of these daughters, the bigger one, also had her own daughter who was very little actually, and quite. She was probably a bit older than Indiana, but she did look very skinny and stuff. But they all sat there, and the dads had this big, like cooler bag, like the old school ones. You unzip at the top. You'd take away.
oh yeah, they're
picnics
sort
and
of
kids.
like a either like plastic or sort of foamy foam style.
Yeah, he'd like a proper cooler bag.
Yeah.
And he'd put it on the table. I didn't think much of it, even though it was in our way a bit, putting this massive bag on this table. But it's fine, whatever.
Did it bend the table?
Well, the mum then comes over, and I'm like, oh, here comes the mum. She's also pretty big. And they've got bags and bags of food with them from the local supermarket. Like they
Right.
brought in. We joked, oh, they brought their own food in with them, which I guess you can do. But they had like pots of Pringles, crisps, loads of stuff, and they're eating out of these shopping bags. But it looked like they had like a week's worth of shopping with them,
Yeah.
and they're eating out of them. Then the mum showed up, and she had no lie, 4 trays of fish and chips from the chip shop. Like the big, like they were big. These are big square trays. She had 4 of them stacked up. So I'm like, okay, she puts them down,
Oh,
open them. They're like,
stacked up as well.
yeah, stacked up, and they're like, nom, 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 nom. And I'm like, oh, it's pretty disgusting having to watch this. They're right in front of me, but it's fine because they're just, you know what? I'm especially if you're using your hands. And they're like, ooh, and they're like, ah. And then the mum disappeared again. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, they're still eating their fish and chips. Maybe she's gone to get something else. And she came back with all this tinfoil wrapped stuff and started handing them out. And they had got the most biggest burgers I've ever seen. These like burrito things.
On top of like fish and
Yeah, with all the snacks in the shopping bag, with the fish and chips they've got, and now they've got burgers and these burrito things, and they're eating them in this foil, and the juice is just pouring all over their arms, all over the table. You can hear it hitting the table, and I'm like, this is fucking insane. It's it's food going everywhere. It was like watching hyenas tear it apart. Even Lizzie was like, I'm starting to feel, and I'm like, I don't think I can watch this anymore, Lizzie.
No,
I think I had to go outside.
yeah, no, I
I
think
had to
there
go
is
outside.
there
But-
is something about watching someone like gorge food is just a bit like
Like an insane amount of it. But then the weird thing was the dad picked up the cooler bag, and that's when I realised it was like pissing water everywhere. Like the table was just covered in water,
yeah.
and I was like, oh shit. Oh, they need to get a towel or some sort of tissue because it's everywhere. But the dad just started pushing it off with his hands, but all onto the dance floor where the kids are dancing.
Oh,
just pushing all this water off the table onto the dance floor. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then he puts his bag down, and I can still see water pouring out of it. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. That water will like come out in seconds and be done. What is in there for it still to be like pouring?
Yeah.
There must be like bottles in there leaking. I don't understand. But he doesn't seem to. It's just covering the dance floor. I had to get outside, man. I felt sick. I generally started feeling sick. Like, and then, the next morning, we're literally getting ready to leave. We're sat on a bench. Indiana's having a last play in the playground. They show up again. The big girl sits next to Lizzie. Literally, Lizzie had to get off the bench. And again, they had bags of snacks with them, and they're just tucking in. And then the mum shows up again, hands them all like this weird breakfast bat thing. Nothing's open yet, so they must be making these themselves.
Yeah.
Or she's driving off site to get them and bring them back. And starts handing them these massive like breakfast bun things. Again, exactly the same thing, but this time just sat on a bench outside, it's dripping everywhere. And their little girl, who I think was one of the bigger girl's daughters, was like, "Oh, I'm really thirsty, Nanny. Have you got any water?" She's like, "No, I got you this," and literally pulls out like this big pink like litre bottle of what looked like Panda Pops, and she's like, "It's called Strawberlicious Fizzy Pop or something. Here you go." And even the daughter was like, like you could tell she was like,
Yeah.
I just really wanted some water. To be fair,
man.
fuck it
Like-
up. Didn't really want this, like, and I'm like, I don't know. It just seemed a very. I don't know. It just seemed like a very weird way to. And I don't like judging people the way people raise their kids.
Sure.
But I'm like, it's like it could have just been a holiday treat, but it didn't look like that.
But that's the thing, isn't it? Like when you're on holiday, you're kind of sort of stuck with it. So all you can do is just sort of like the things that you notice are either going to be like, oh, that's pretty funny, or just like, oh, I just hate people.
Yeah,
I can't like.
yeah.
I genuinely don't think I could go on a holiday like that, because I would just sit there and just be like, fucking people. I was just like, these fucking people. Like, I just couldn't. I haven't got it in me, man. Like,
I mean, it was no
you're
different to
braver
me
than
going. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I was trying to remember when. I don't know if I'm really explaining it very well though, because it wasn't really. Because Ed was like that. Ed was like, oh, I couldn't go on that with all the screaming kids. I was like, I didn't even encounter them any screaming kids. It was very quiet, very calm. Just that these guys I saw once and the travellers. But anywhere I go, anywhere that has a bar, it's gonna be like that. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Pool itself was amazing. We drove down there quite a bit. It was nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually did have a very nice time. Didn't think I would, but I did have a very nice time. And I was really impressed with all the activities and such everyone could do. And we only spent one day at the actual resort. Most of it we were out other places.
Yeah. Nice.
Doing other things.
Glad you enjoyed yourself.
Long ass drive home, but we got home in the end. Like 2 hour drive took like 4 hours. It was long. It was fucking long.
Hey man, summer
I was
holidays.
so sweaty when I got home.
Mate.
I was so sweaty when I got home after that drive that that navy t-shirt, the one that you've got as well.
Oh yeah. It's like greyish.
I was so sweaty that, you know, when it's so sweaty, the salt actually shows up, and you get the white mark. I had like solid white seatbelt marks right across that t-shirt. It's how much I was just sat there for 4 hours sweating continuously.
Damn. Damn.
But yeah, so that was me. I went away. That was what happened. It feels like it would be a good time to move into Geezedropping, because I did not lots, but I did pick up some holiday geese drops.
Yeah, no, I've got an abundance. I wasn't sure if we were going to save them for the end of the episode or not, but
well, I feel like it's a good move to go into the geese drops. Now
we spent a good half hour just kind of sort of like, you know, catching everyone up on our
hearing
doings.
about my holiday.
Your doings. I did one thing and I explained it poorly. But yes.
But yeah, Geezedropping. Where we hear snippets over a conversation heard by you or us, and you send them in and we read them out of our context. Geezedropping. What have you heard?
What have you heard, Greg?
What have you heard?
Let's do yours first.
Mine first. Yeah, but say I've got a couple for my holiday. First one I heard this in HMV in Poole.
All right.
A couple talking, and the girl said, "You know what we need to invest in? A silk pillowcase."
Oh no! Hang on. I know why.
Because of the cooler.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense. I thought it was because she had acne.
Oh, is it? Maybe.
But apparently, I saw this in a video. Fucking TikTok, man. I'm learning bare science shit recently. There's
I'm a scientist. Where did you learn your field? TikTok.
Fucking TikTok, motherfucker. The Earth is flat. Yeah, no. So apparently, like cotton is like it's a good component for like bacteria that helps acne spread.
Oh, right, nice.
And yeah,
I'm nice. Mm-hmm. I remember an ex-girlfriend insisted on buying me these silk boxers once.
Oh no!
She made this big deal about how amazing they were, and she eventually bought them.
What colour?
For me, they were burgundy, I think. Yeah, they were burgundy.
Burgundy silk.
Yeah, this was like in my I think I was a Natterjacks at the time.
Silk, though. I'm sure they felt nice.
They felt amazing.
Yeah.
They did feel really good, and they were really like light. Like really, really light.
You just looked like a 70s club owner in them.
Well, no one could see them because I was wearing. But the point, actually, people could see them because trousers will just slide off them.
Mate, I bet jizz.
Just slide off them. You're walking down the street.
Slid off them as well.
You're walking down the street, and it's like, oh, and you realize they just slid down without noticing because the jeans would just slide down the silk. So yeah, I didn't really trust them. They kept trying to expose me. But yeah, silk pillowcase. The couple wanted to invest in. While having a walk around HMV in Poole.
I mean, it is
now
cooler.
We head over to a Poundland in Poole.
Oh, excellent!
And while I was walking past the freezer area,
there was a man. Bit of shit in fucking Poundland.
There was a man talking to himself quite aggressively as he looked through the freezers.
Yeah.
And I was stood next to him for a minute, and I heard him just say to himself, "I don't want to go to prison." And I was like,
"Okay,
oh.
okay,
Oh, right.
Elaborate."
Is that because something you have done, or you literally about to stab me?
Yeah.
Like what's happening here?
Is this like a past, present, or future scenario here? Like, is this something you have done? Something you want to do?
He was pretty old. He was very weird though. Just like, I don't want to go to prison. I was like, Jesus, no.
You should have just
Okay.
turned back to him and sang.
Well, tough.
You should have just turned back to him and started singing the Dawson's Creek soundtrack. Just, I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. And then he would have stabbed you in the heart.
I had a woman walking around the caravan park.
I had a woman.
A guy said this actually. A wheelchair-bound man.
Okay.
Said.
The details are important.
Some music was playing, and somebody was like, "Oh!" And one of the women there was like, "Oh, I love the '80s." And this man in his wheelchair said, "I love men in their '80s." And instantly, everyone was like, "Why would you say that?"
Why would you say that? I love men in their 80s.
Why would you say that?
Jesus. Hell of a time to confess.
Walking around the park, I had a mother and daughter conversation. The daughter, "These trackies make my bum look really small." "That's good," says the mum. "No, it's not," says the daughter.
Of course. It is all about having an arse these days. Got to have an arse, Greg. Got to have an arse.
Those were my holiday ones. I have got more from Gaz and Sam, and I've got an audio one from Ashley. But
Lovely.
I can throw some over to you if you want.
Yeah, no, sure. I actually, I didn't actually pick these out. These got sent to me during the week. I had Pete from Swearwolves. He sent me this a few days back. He was in East London. In Tesco's whilst perusing meal deals, as you do, you know. What else is always got? It's a lunchtime classic. But he heard a man say, "I'm busting to cream pie some girls, man. You get me?" Yeah.
What?
He then followed that up with a message that said, "The man then stood outside and shouted at what I assumed pigeons."
Pigeons.
He shouted at pigeons. He didn't just shout the word pigeons.
Pigeons.
Sorry,
Jesus.
That was just me not reading
I
correctly.
think he went out there and he shouted pigeons.
Yeah. I like that. I'm just like, I like that what he's also done there is it's a very good pun.
Yes.
I'm busting to cream pie some girls, man. That's what a great pun. What a great pun he's got there. So I like that one. Tree, hello Tree.
Hello Tree.
She sent me this today.
I almost sent her a picture the other day of I walked past some tree. They were cutting down trees in Kingston, and there was a big sign. I thought it said culling trees, but it actually said cutting, I think. And even though cutting, I thought the idea of a sign that said culling tree, I wanted to send it to her
and just be like, you better run.
Not as a threat, to be like, watch your back.
Watch your back.
Be careful.
Hey,
Be
you better look
careful,
out
Tree.
there.
Especially as I think she'd gone to London that week, whatever. I was like, be careful.
Well,
But it didn't. Alas, it didn't. I think it just said cutting trees or something.
Yeah, no. So she messaged me. She messaged me during the. What is it? No. She. I think I commented on a post she made, and I said, "Did you get any good geese drops in London?" And she sent me them. I also just want to point this out as well because she sent me this afterwards, and it was a picture, and it just said, "Thought you'd appreciate this." And the picture says, it's a little sign that says, "Please keep off the grass," right? But the sign is located right in the middle of gravel.
That is good.
And then, so I said back to her,
It's gone by the sun.
yeah, so I said back, like, there's a Wu-Tang song called Gravel Pit, and the chorus is "Check out my gravel pit." So I want to get a sign made that says "Check out my gravel pit."
Check out my
and I want to
gravel
send it to this. I want to send it to this place and say, just like, "I've got you a sign. I think you should fucking replace that keep off the grass fucking one. You bunch of dickheads." But yeah, no. So she, Tree went to London, and as I said, I asked if she had any geese drops, and she did.
End of.
That's it.
Moving swiftly on.
So we got three here. Number one, pickles are weird. Like, who named them pickles?
It is weird.
It's a good point.
I think that about everything.
But I feel like the process is pickling, right?
Right, yeah. That's the thing. You've hit the nail on the head there, Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
You've solved the case closed.
That's it. Find me that fucking idiot in London.
Bring him to me.
I will explain everything.
I'll
in
educate the fuck
a
out of him.
simple sentence. Number 2, reason they were in London, they went to go and see Sister Act.
Oh, lovely.
We went to see Sister Act, and a person on the way out said, "I think the costumes were so loud it woke Mother Teresa."
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah. Oh, happy day.
Oh, happy days.
And then the third one here is it just says trains would be well better if they weren't on tracks. And she
not if they're derailing.
No, I mean we've seen that before. It's not a popular thing to happen.
I haven't seen it in person,
no.
but yeah, it's
there
not
was
nice.
that Paddington one that was
horrendous,
pretty awful. But as Tree rightly says here, surely that's a bus.
It's true.
Public transport or a tram.
Tram is tracks,
tram,
I guess.
Tram is
Those
on tracks.
Yeah, different tracks, but yeah.
That's it.
Like those old school ones that are more like bumper car ones where it's all connected above. Bzzz.
Oh yeah, that's old school.
That is old school.
That is old school. Yeah, that's some lovely geese drops from Pete and Tree there. From out and about in London. Looks like we've got ourselves a couple of new roaming reporters.
Roaming reporters.
Roaming reporters, eh?
I've got one from Gaz, brother of Sam, sent us.
Yes.
In the range. I've never been to the range. Have you?
What, like golf?
No, it's like a shop. It's like I think it's kind of like maybe not as low as BMM, but it's kind of like that sort of line. I only know about it because I remember Lizzie saying that they supply loads of their her work supply loads of pens to them.
Oh, okay.
As stock, and I passed one in a car once, and I was like, "Oh, look, a range." But I've never they're pretty popular, but I don't think there's any around here.
Huh.
But anyway, Gaz heard this in the range.
Okay.
And he heard someone say, just remembered, I needed to defrost a rodent for my snake.
Oh, mate.
I like to think he's saying that to himself, alone, just perusing the aisles. Just remember, I needed to defrost a rodent for my snake. Anyway,
I was recently in a pet shop with Ed and Sarah when I helped them move. And we were walking around. There's some birds that were talking. It was fucking great. But there was they had a fridge full of snacks and stuff for pets that you give them, and there was literally just a pile of dead mice.
Yeah.
And I turned. I was like, "Oh yeah, look!" And he looked, and he just went, "Ugh." It was great. I think he saw everything else in there, assumed it was food, and then just saw a pile of frozen mice.
Yeah. I'll take one.
I was like, "Oh,
I'll take it."
Yeah. Sorry. As you were. Please proceed.
Sorry, I was taking a drink then.
Oh yeah, no, that's the classic Joe move. Yeah.
I was hydrating then, some liquid.
Hey man, it's needed in this tropical climate.
I know, especially when I'm drinking more beer and not enough water. Jesus. Yeah. So, and then I think this one might have been Gaz as well. A small child says to his mum in M&S Food, "Mummy, can we have a pudding tonight?" Mother says, "No, sweetums, you've already had 2 donuts this month."
This month. That is mad.
There's unless it's like a medical condition, but
Well,
they're obviously monitoring something going on. But maybe they're just stopping bouncing off the walls. I don't know.
Huh? That's insane. That's fucking mental.
I picked up because it was very hot today. I went down the shop to get something, didn't have it, and I bought a can of Lilt, being my go-to in the heat.
Mate, I know you're very much an enthusiastic man about the Lilt.
Only when it's hot. Only literally heat wave days. I might get a Lilt.
What can I say?
Anyway.
It's a totally tropical taste, mate.
It is.
So.
Yeah, and I got my Lilt, and Indiana was like, "Can I try a bit?" And I was like, "Oh no, you won't like it."
No, this is mine.
She did try a bit.
Fuck away from my drink.
And she was just like,
"Oh really?"
And I was like, "Right, you're not having any more." She kept trying to sneak it, and I'm like, "Nope." And then tonight she was all hyper and a bit of a meltdown. So I could have been the Lilt.
Could have been the Lilt. She's on the Lilt. She's well on the Lilt, mate.
Sam sent one. He says, "Do it in a very high camp voice," and I don't know.
Oh, do you want me to do it?
But but he's just like, I can do it in a high voice. Is that high? I sound like one of the
it is
characters.
high, but you sound like mayonnaise. Sorry, mayonnaise is.
Lewis re-listened to the radio play today. Sent me a picture. He was listening to it. Started
superb.
throwing some quotes from the first one at me.
I might have to do the same.
That was a radio play quotation. There, a mayonnaise being a character in there.
Yeah, I wasn't just saying you sound like mayonnaise.
Got my rollerblades out. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
I said. I was talking to a guy at work today because of the so like next week in London is the train strikes, right?
Yep.
But also now on the same days bus strikes.
And is that now they're doing it with BT and the post office as well?
I believe also, yes. So I'm very much in a situation where I don't know how I'm going to get to work on those days. But I was sort of like spitballing ideas, and I jokingly just said to my colleague Dave, I was like, "Oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just going to get some rollerblades." And he looked at me like I'd shit in his lunch. Like he was just like, "You fucking what?" Like I wasn't sure. I'm assuming he knew what rollerblades were. Like
it's funny you say that. Last year, maybe the year before, we got Indiana her roller boots. Maybe last year we got her roller boots, and I was like, "Oh, Mum, are my rollerblades still in the attic?"
Mate, I'd love to go.
Are they still in the attic? And she's like, I was up there looking for them, couldn't find them. I was like, Mum, are my rollerblades still in the attic? She's like, oh no, we literally sold them at the boot sale recently.
Damn.
I was like, fuck, man, they were good ones. They were like my Bauer ones.
Yeah, man, I had.
And then there was a pair
No.
in a charity shop the other day for £10, and I almost got them. I almost got them.
I feel like
I didn't.
rollerblades would be a good exercise choice.
Yeah, I did come very close to getting a pair, I say, in this charity shop.
You came in a charity shop.
I'm not completely dismissed on the idea.
Did you come in a charity shop, Rick?
No, I was in a charity shop and I almost bought a pair.
You came close.
Close. Yeah, I came close. I
was close to coming in a charity shop.
But no, I didn't get them in the end. But it's not completely off the table in my eyes. At some point, maybe.
Because I was thinking about, like, I said to Ed about just generally just like sort of exercise and shit, and I sort of said, oh man, I was thinking of getting like a bicycle, and he was just like, yeah, but then you'd be a cyclist, and I was like, oh, that is a good point. Yeah, no, that is. I've
not been a cyclist.
I do.
Just don't be dicks.
I do. I have big things. When one of them shouted at my mum, I fucking got fucking angry.
We got an audio one here from Ashley. Been a while. Here we go.
While in Home Bargains, myself and my partner walked past these two elderly ladies and one of their husbands just standing around. And they were like, oh, we'll have to catch up soon, love. Yeah, we'll have to catch up soon. I'll give you a ring. We'll see what we can get up to. Oh, don't fucking lie to me, you patronising bitch. You always say you do that and you never fucking do.
Called out.
Big time. They did not hold back.
Called the fuck out.
Jesus.
Man.
Lovely
and it's
stuff.
true. People do say that all the time. You know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true.
We had to mention, move that ski shop's done, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. The ski shop's done.
That's it. It's the end of
The
it.
ski shop's done. Now, last time we talked about... Actually, no, last time wasn't the Henry Hoover episode. It was the beach nudist one.
Yeah.
But we have... this story got a bit more mainstream than I wanted it to blow up. Usually the stories I like to talk about... kind of low key. This was literally on the front page of a few papers.
Oh yeah, Daily Sport was all over this one.
Married dad from Bradford was jailed for having sex with a pony. Bearing in mind, this happened in 2018. Well, that's when he was caught.
Fucking hell, it's been in court for 4 years.
But I do love the fact it was like a pony was found with electrical tape and elasticated bondage attached to its tail, along with elasticated bandage attached to its tail, along with sugar lumps. When forensics examined the animal, the sample revealed to match a 52-year-old Abdul Ghani. He'd been banned from entering any stable containing horses, ponies, and donkeys in England.
Wait. Was that prior to being caught?
I think that was when he was caught.
Oh, right. I was going to say, because like, if you have that ban prior...
Oh, yeah, no, he had the ban after being caught,
I was going to say, like, what the fuck did you do before?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man, yeah. So the local horse owners became increasingly concerned after finding random unexplained items such as bags of carrots, a torch, and a shop receipt in parts of the land. in parts of
What?
the land.
Oh,
So this guy was
okay.
obviously just dropping shit around, wasn't he?
This isn't
Littering.
like this guy is too brazen by the sound of it. If I'm a pervert trying to fuck ponies, I'm not leaving a paper trail.
We literally
I just
was leaving,
realised
he
as
was
well,
literally
my
leaving a
fucking-
paper trail.
My window is wide open and my neighbours are home and they definitely just heard that.
Oh, my window's open too. It's too hot. Yeah, my bedroom's insanely hot at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was the dad from Bradford was parked nearby, along with the discovery of baby oil and a bag of carrots.
A dad from Bradford, so a dadford.
Hey,
He was a bag of carrot. He was just trying to entice
and
them.
baby oil.
Was he like... He's trying to like practice kidnapping children, but he's doing it on ponies.
Again, he claimed that he loved the wild in his initial interview and had been nature watching the area, feeding the carrots, horses, biscuits, and apples.
Yeah.
Later, he was asked about, well, then why is your DNA inside the horse?
Yeah, but this is how he was doing the carrot bit though. He was just like, "Go on, feed
Wait,
the carrot." Like,
So he's wafting it over his penis.
yeah, goddamn right. I
That's
don't have
what
a.
he's doing.
Sorry, it wasn't a carrot. It was a teeth cleaning utensil.
I love this turning here. This phrasing's amazing. Judge Andrew Hatton said there was a clear evidence the man had been visiting the area to make the animals feel less wary around him. He added that it was a well-planned, deliberate descent into bestiality. That's
Descent.
a hell of a sentence.
That is great.
Well-planned, deliberate descent into bestiality.
I
think
love
the
it
episode's
when-
got to be called What's
Descent
it?
into Beast- I don't think we're gonna get away with that.
Why not? Descent into bestiality?
How the hell are we going to get away with descent into bestiality as a fucking title?
Well, I'll just blur out some of the words in bestiality.
Oh, okay
be
then.
fine.
Well, then all right. Then I'll also blur us fucking spit roasting a horse. So,
Oh my god, I'm bumming the pantomime horse. I'm so sorry, Marjorie.
there's 4 people involved in this scenario.
Thomas?
What would you,
I'm
Greg, if you were the pantomime horse, but you were accidentally fucked? What end would you like to be?
If I was a pantomime horse, but I was fucked.
Yeah, so basically, let's say you and me are dressed up as a pantomime horse. So one of us has got to take the front, one of us has got to take the back.
Oh, I get it really
But
fair. We took it in turns.
But in a weird turn of events, a man has turned up to have sex with us.
That is a strange turn of events.
It's a turn of events.
No stranger than us randomly just being dressed up as a pantomime horse.
I know, and also it's not a convincing costume.
No, not at all.
It's very
I think it'd be
clearly,
fair
it's
if we
very
just took
clear
it-
that there are
I
two
think it'd be
people
fair
inside.
if we just took it in turns, because why should you get all the sugar lumps up the front and I get the
Don't call his cum. Don't call his cum sugar
and I
lumps.
get the arse carnage at the back.
There's so many great phrases in that sentence. You shouldn't get all the sugar lumps at the front whilst I'm getting all the arse carnage. That's fucking great. But yeah, don't call cum sugar lumps, Greg. You know I don't like it.
I do want to say what the verdict here. Gani was served he went to prison for 10 months. He was served a driving ban for 29 months and must register as a sex offender for the next 10 years, along with £110 compensation for the Bettsville.
What? Oh, the vet bill. Oh, okay, yeah. Fair
My
enough.
dick called £110 worth of damage in that horse's ass.
Yeah. He was king of the wing in prison after that story got out. Fucking hell.
Jesus, man. I mean, fuck. It's bad times.
It is, yeah.
It's bad times.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You don't really want to get caught having sex with any animal.
No, not animal.
You don't really want to be in a position where you have to have sex with animals. But let mind being caught.
It's gonna take something pretty special for me to be in
And
that
he's
scenario.
married. Like,
I know.
I can explain that.
Yeah, mate.
Shit. Sorry,
Just,
Lizzie.
it's
I've been banging horses over in the field. I didn't think you'd mind.
It's it's too many risks against the kick. The kink. It's too many risks.
Risks against the kink.
Poor bloke. No,
He is a
not
poor
poor.
bloke.
No, not poor bloke.
No, not poor bloke. You're right. It's not poor bloke.
Fuck that guy.
Both of us are just like, and I'm like, yeah, poor bloke. I went, no, wait a minute, not poor bloke.
I think his
Not
sentence.
poor bloke at all. Fucking hell.
I
mean,
think-
poor that. Unfortunate for him
That
that he
fucking
has
poor
that
pony.
he has those questionable desires.
Yeah, man, but that's not learned. That's that's in there.
Yeah, that's even weird. That's even worse, though, isn't it?
Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe he's born with it.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's bestiality. From horses to seagulls.
Is it?
This is a couple of months old. This one came out in July, so only last month actually. But this was actually a pretty interesting story. I haven't got the best source for researching it, but I did see it pop up a few times.
Yeah.
And it was about the seagulls were going to basically a bit of a phenomenon known as Flying Ant Day. You know, it occurs when swarms of flying ants up to 50 miles wide invade the UK as the weather becomes more hotter and more humid. But seagulls, it's a massive treat for them because they fly through those swarms chowing down on poor ants. Mm-hmm. They eat them all.
Yep.
But it has a similar effect to them as what getting drunk or doing acid is for us. So here's what Dr. Rebecca Nesbitt from Society of Biology has to say about the matter.
So, ants are like a drug?
Sort of. So some of the slightly odd behaviour we're seeing could be a result of these ants. It could leave the gulls slightly drunk. It's possible because we know some ants produce formic acid and could be having an effect.
Is this why seagulls just hang out in city centres and steal from Greggs?
Well, they were acting a bit more extreme than that. They were basically getting reports that seagulls were going to be even worse this year than they have in previous years because of something to do with the ants. But yeah, they've basically been off their tits on fucking flying ants.
Nice.
But I didn't see this. This is a warning. It's an article. I saw it pop a few times and it was warning people just to watch out for the ants. But I'd never heard of it. And I went to a beach and I did see a few seagulls and none of them seemed to be tripping balls. Although saying that, they were getting a bit brave.
Oh, yeah?
They're pretty big. They're pretty close. But I just love the idea of it being in the flying ant day, fucking flying ants. This day can't get any worse. And then you've got seagulls tripping balls who have been eating the ants.
You got a seagull just coming up to you and being like, "Give us 20p, mate."
Yeah, robbing you blind.
Yeah.
It's just fucking taking your food, flies down, takes your lunch, flies down again, takes your wallet, takes your car keys.
When you said flies down,
drives your car into a wall.
Pulls your trousers down. Undoes your belt. Fucking pantses you in the street.
Is it bestiality if a humanality, if an animal has sex with a human against its will?
What is it if the animal has sex with a person? What's that? Is that still?
But if 8 off their tit seagulls held me down and had their way with me.
I got
against my will. I got gold. I don't know.
I got gold.
Is that Willie?
I got gold. Oh mate. They took me.
Gold. Always believe in your hole.
How was your trip? How was your trip to Bournemouth? You know what? I would say that it was a good time, but I got an absolute gulling whilst I was down.
An absolute gulling. They gulled the hell out of me.
Gulled the fuck out of me whilst I was down there.
They were shitting the whole time. It was like one of those chalk outlines of a body when I got up.
But
the police knew exactly what happened.
There's all this
they set the crime scene up perfectly.
There was a perfect outline on my body, but it was all made up of seagull jizz.
Oh.
And then they just, whilst I was laying on the ground crying for help, they just swarmed around me going, "Car, mine, claiming me as their own."
Yeah, they did some pretty nasty things.
That is fucking mad, isn't it? But mate, you know what? As we always say after these stories, the world's a crazy fucking place.
The world is a crazy place, and I'm going to wrap up with a crazier story.
Yeah, go on then.
And I'm not sure if we covered this. I thought we might have discussed this at some point, and now we can follow on. But this is the woman who fell in love and married a ragdoll her mother had made for her.
Fell in love with a ragdoll. Had it since a kid, and I really, really love it.
So her mother made her a ragdoll, and she fell in love with it and married it.
Of course.
She's 37.
Shit.
She complained to her mum that she was single and wanted someone to dance with, so she got her needle and thread out and created Marcello. She said they fell in love, and they...
Who chose the name?
For the mum, I guess.
Marcello.
But her daughter, her daughter fell in love with the ragdoll, and I'm happy to announce she fell pregnant. Even claimed to put.
No, she didn't, Greg.
She even put on. Yeah, she even put on.
No, she didn't.
4 stone during her pregnancy.
She didn't, Greg. She just got fat.
Not wanting to give birth out of wedlock, she arranged a wedding in front of 250 family and friends before going on a honeymoon in Rio. Very nice.
Can I say, could you just imagine getting invited to that wedding? No wonder 200...
It'd be terrifying.
No wonder 250 people turned up because they'd be like, I've got to see this fucking maniac marry a
she
ragdoll.
Need help. Like, I didn't know how I'd react. It'd be so weird. She said she gave birth to the new ragdoll in a 35-minute labour at home with a doctor and nurse present.
Even better, Greg, wipe the wedding out of your head. Imagine being a doctor turning up to that pregnancy.
She said it was pain-free.
Of course it was, because it didn't happen.
It was live streamed with 200 people watching.
She had a shit. That's what she did. She gave birth on a live stream. So if that happened, then somewhere on the internet that is... Right, I'm going on Reddit.
It was a wonderful day for me. They're important, they're emotional. He is a man I've always wanted in my life. Married life with him is wonderful. He doesn't fight with me. He doesn't argue. He just understands me. When my mum made Marcello and first introduced me to him, I fell in love with him, and it was love at first sight. It's because I didn't have a foro dancer. I wanted these dances, but wouldn't be able to find a partner. They entered my life, and it all makes sense. So yeah, they're married and they have a kid.
No, they don't, Greg.
Lovely picture here of them out on a nice family day trip.
Wait, can you get that to focus a little bit? Oh, I can't see her properly.
I'm just gonna
because she looks. She's seems attractive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she's not ugly at all.
To a degree.
To a degree. Descent, but like there are a few
descent into ragdoll.
There's a I don't know. They're a bit.
Surely that's as a Urban Dictionary phrase. Surely ragdolling is what that's called.
Ragdolling. I got ragdolled.
Got ragdolled
last night.
Got absolutely ragdolled.
Oh no. There you go. Sorry, there's a random picture of Indiana on Carnaby Street in those ones I sent you. Sorry.
Oh, okay, fair enough. It is best that you actually tell me that, because I would have scrolled through and be like, oh, there's it. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That's really good.
That's a good one. Yeah, there's only a couple there. There's a few more in this article, but they're all just a bit bizarre.
Oi, mate. So the picture you sent me is at their wedding. I like just everyone in the background. It's like there's one girl like biting her nails, just being like, what the fuck is going on?
What is happening? They all seem so confused.
Yeah, man, they've turned up to a fake wedding.
I suggest, guys, if you don't know what... I mean, why would you know what we're talking about?
Why would any of you know?
I would definitely look up this article. Woman who married ragdoll has made a baby ragdoll and she calls their child.
Greg, I will say this.
Please do.
The baby does look like the father, so there's definitely no denying that
definitely
he is the father.
Looks like the father, yeah.
He's definitely the father.
Did I send you... I haven't sent you the birth picture.
Not
the birth picture, but the first when the baby was born picture. Try not to get too emotional, Joe.
I'll definitely try. By that, do you mean angry? Do you mean angry?
No. I mean moved by the...
fuck off. Greg, she's wearing the same scrubs as you when you delivered your child.
When I was there, when I was present for the delivery of my child, yes.
Of your actual existing real child.
Yes, yeah.
This is a fucking... Mate, she's just using up like a fucking hospital for this.
She couldn't have had a real nurse and daughter there. They couldn't have been real.
A nurse and daughter?
Sorry, a nurse and doctor.
Got a second one on the way, have they?
It's really hot, Jesus Christ.
It's really hot. Yeah, man, I just want to... the next live thing she does is hopefully get psychologically evaluated. Because I would watch that. I wouldn't watch her. Maybe there'll be a few more kids
in the way. Maybe they get a rag dog or something.
I wouldn't watch this woman give birth to this thing, whatever it is. It's like a reverse gollywog.
It is. It has got, unfortunately, a bit of a gollywog feel to it.
Yeah, but like an albino version,
like a white gollywog. Yeah, it definitely looks a bit questionable.
So probably a wollygog. I guess
it's not a nice looking doll. I'm sure there's nicer looking dolls out there.
I like the idea that she listens to this podcast, just hoping that she pops up, and then now she's going to go home crying because we've talked badly about her child.
Oh, she probably won't care.
No, she's insane.
Well, she'll set all her ragdolls on us.
She has got some hell of an echo chamber going on where everyone's just like, yes, no, I hope you're really happy. Like, yes. Like someone intervene. in that situation, please.
We're so happy for you. This is such a beautiful, amazing occasion.
Oh, she's alright. She'll be on this morning in a fucking month's time or something.
If she hasn't been already,
If she
that's for
hasn't
sure.
been already.
Not that I've seen.
They
but
love her.
Although saying that, yeah, I don't think she's.
They love a freak on there, don't they?
Yes,
God.
they do.
Well,
They do.
You have absolutely. That was a 1, 2, 3 combination of weird articles that you.
They're
hit me
ones
with
I've been
there.
saving. They're just kind of rolled off the tongue at that
No,
point.
they're really good. I like that. That
Yeah,
was great.
they were good. I was also just very aware that I'm like sweating so much. I just keep wiping my head, tasting it. I'm like, ugh. Window open, but there's no air.
I made
Jesus
a
Christ.
I made a terrible underwear decision today, and I wore like some boxer shorts. that
knitted boxer shorts,
were- I wore my
silk boxer
I
shorts.
wore my fleeced boxer shorts today.
I wore my
no,
chastity belt.
It was a particular pair of boxer shorts that were just quite tight.
Yeah,
And it really just created quite the soup.
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's horrible. It
Yeah.
is horrible.
Like that guy's fucking cooler bag leaking in that fucking thing. Was that,
Good
somebody
soup.
walks past and knocks you. You right, Joe's? Oh my god.
I messaged Lucy earlier because she's not a particular fan of the heat. So every now and again during the day she'll just send me a message saying how much she is not enjoying the heat.
Yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
agree. I'm not a big fan of the heat. But I did for some reason decide to message her this, that I was just like I was so hot and I was wearing not the right underwear for weather like this, and that I went to the toilet and took off my underwear just for a bit of just a bit of relief.
Yeah, why not?
And then I just got hit with this cloud of just like fucking scrotum.
Oh.
And it was just like I said. I then tried to describe it as the worst thing I could think of, which is a farm in a sauna.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that's not
terrible.
good.
I showered.
I've showered a few
Thoroughly.
times. But yeah,
Thoroughly.
that's literally what when I got back from that drive from holiday, I literally felt like when I opened my car door, water was going to like pour out everywhere.
Yeah.
And at one point, we were 15 minutes from home, and I missed a turning. And it added another half hour to our journey, and we were heading towards fucking Sunbury, and I'm like, fucking hell!
Should have stopped by, mate.
Well, I managed to get back on track and turn around and go back,
Yeah.
and then get back, so I came out in Cheshunt. I was dying, man. I was fucking dying. It
Yeah.
was so hot, it was insane.
It's not a fun time. Although we have got a load of ice lollies at work, so that's pretty good.
That is good.
Quite happy with that. Quite happy
That
with
is good.
Seeing as it is hot as fuck, should we wrap things up? a
Yeah,
little bit?
I think we're at the end. Yeah, I think we've covered a lot.
that
was good.
I did just want to say two final things. Number one, happy birthday to today recording listener Maren. Maren is
Maren, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happiest-
Out of your
happiest of
30s.
birthdays.
Ooh, she's like, don't say that loudly on the podcast. I'm sorry, it is what it is.
Exactly what you've done. You've taken what she said and done the absolute opposite.
Well,
of
she
it.
didn't say don't say. She announced it on
Very true.
Instagram.
I mean,
It's okay.
everyone says it in that.
I was shocked. I had no idea. I thought she was young. Maren, I thought you were younger than me.
Yeah.
I generally thought you were
She
younger
is-
than me.
No, she is younger than you, isn't it?
She's 40.
I-
Last day of her 30s.
Oh shit! Then I read it wrong. This.
Wow, what did you read?
I don't know.
Hang on. Hang on.
All
She's
right.
like, maybe now you're making me question everything.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
You weren't 40 still back.
Right, this has just become awkward now. Why do we do this every time? It just turns into this awkward babble.
Well, I wasn't being awkward. It was meant to be a compliment.
Sorry,
It's kinda
no,
backfired
it's
on
my
me.
fault. It's my fault for getting all mixed up. Maren,
Yeah, you got me. You didn't do
okay,
your
fine.
research
Let's
before
just-
you came in.
use take two then. Maren, happy birthday for today. We are recording on the 12th of August. Today is also my dad's birthday. He would have been 76 this year, but obviously is not here. Happy birthday to my dad.
Raise a glass.
Love and
raise
miss
a
you.
drink.
And happy birthday to Maren. Also, happy birthday to Lakeith Stanfield. He's it's his birthday, I think. Maybe I don't know. I saw him with I saw a picture on Instagram where he was very, very happy about a big stack of pancakes, and I just assumed it was his birthday.
Yeah, those birthdays we got, eh? I saw a few pop up today. There was someone else I wish a happy birthday to as well. I can't remember who it was. But yes, happy birthday to all.
Yes, glasses have risen.
Glasses have risen. I'm still risen. I'm taking a sip.
Lovely
And it is now back down.
stuff.
Awesome. Thanks to everyone for listening. We'll be back with an episode in a couple of weeks.
187.
We'll be back with an episode. Yeah, 187. Holy shit. It's gonna when we hit 190, then it's gonna be like, oh shit, man, we're gonna hit 200 now.
Yeah, we'll do that before the end of the year, right?
Which no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we will actually. I think you're right.
10,
we probably will.
What is it? 13 weeks?
I think we will.
Yeah, we'll absolutely. Yeah, we'll just sneak it in.
Well, bearing in mind we're every 2 weeks, aren't we? Not every week.
Oh shitter! Yeah, we won't make it at all.
Yeah, we're every 2 weeks. That's why when I say to people, "Oh, we're approaching 200 episodes," everyone's like, "It doesn't sound like much," but
It's been 7 years.
But it's been every 2 weeks and some more. In fact, technically more because we've definitely done extra episodes that I'm just too OCD to count as numbered episodes. Anyway, splitting hairs. Everyone, thanks for listening. It's been it's been wonderful. It's been awesome. We're just sweating our asses out, so we need to go get some air. But I've been Greg, 35-minute labour to a ragdoll Armstrong.
Oh shit! All right. Well, I've been fucking Joe. Fucking carrot pony perv Jackson, I guess.
Oh, nice.
No.
I tried to say nice and love it at the same time. Then just
nice,
went, lice.
lice. Imagine if you turned record off.
Lice.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.